everyone, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to show you how to make a double-sided pendant. For the first step, you're going to need a skinner blend. I already made one, and the colors that I used were bright green pearl premo, this is yellow premo, and red premo. Now we're going to fold this in half. Make sure you tuck this pretty good. And we're going to roll this in the pasta machine. Starting on my thickest setting, which is number 0. And we're going to roll it from this end to this end. And take it to number 2. And then number 4. Yeah, I think this is where I'm going to stop. Now we're going to make a bullseye cane. So now I'm going to make a bullseye cane. I'm going to start, so when you make a bullseye cane, you got to choose what color you want in the middle. So I want the yellow to be in the middle. Then you're going to fold this, and then just roll it, making sure you don't trap any air bubbles in there. And just roll it. I've been having some issues with this clay. It's very, very warm. No matter what I do, it's just sticky, sticky, sticky. But I'm trying to make sure this doesn't. Alright, so there's your bullseye cane. Now I'm going to condition black clay so I can wrap it around. Just I'm gonna condition it on my third thickest setting, which is a number 2 in my pasta machine. Okay, so just gonna Okay. And I'm gonna cut this. Now I'm going to start reducing this, and I'm going to reduce it by pinching this, because you want to get rid of, you don't want to have any air bubbles in there. And you roll it on the tile. And I'm going to reduce this. I'm going to do like 3 different sizes. Alright, so I reduced this. I have like a large size, and then the medium, and then the small. So now I'm going to cut it. Try to cut this. Let's make this a little bit longer. So now we're going to arrange them all together. You don't have to be in a specific order. Alright, so now we're going to reduce this. Now it's on a circle, so we're going to reduce this on a square. You're gonna grab your roller, and then you're gonna start reducing this. Now you're gonna grab the flexible blade and then cut the sides. Go the other side. Alright, so here's the cane. Okay, so now I'm going to show you what I'm going to do next for the other side of the pendant. Hey guys, so now for the other side of the pendant, I made another skinny blend, use red and gold. And then I conditioned it's antique gold premo. And I'm gonna do a mica shift. And I'm gonna use this stamp from Melanie Muir. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use this area right here. I don't know if you can see it on camera. Just like a little bubbles. This is the, I'm gonna use this part. So I'm going to cut little pieces so I can make several, because it's such a small space that I'm gonna have to keep, because I'm gonna get just this part right here and some of this area right here too. And then just make sure you spray this with water, because you do not want this to stick to the stamp. And then you're gonna grab this, place the clay, and you want to make sure this stamp is stuck to the tile. And then with the sponge, I press down first, because you want to get a good impression. And then with the roller, make sure you get it right. Get it in there really good. Alright, just gonna lift it up. And then we're gonna be shaving this area right here. And I'm gonna show you. Just make sure you pat it down. There's no water. And then put it on your tile. Make sure you have, you're gonna use your flexible blade. Make sure it's clean. I'm gonna trim this side right here. And now what I do is I hold my blade like this, and I'm going to shave it I'm not gonna go deep, because I want to be able to get this part right here, like on the top. So I'm going to go down and I'm going to go move it side to side. And this takes a lot of practice. So and then you're just going to go down. Alright, so you can see, because I wanted to make sure I didn't, I was be able to see through the holes. So and that's what I got. So I'm gonna make more, and then I'll be back because it's gonna take a while. And I'll be back when I'm done. All right, so I'm back, and I'm gonna fill this skinny blend with the mica shift, and then you're just gonna pick it up. And just place it gently on the skinny blend. Yeah, because you're gonna make sure when you're doing this mica shift that when you're shaving it, you'll be able to see the holes. Because if you're going too deep, sometimes there's part of the, I was going to show you one that I did. Can't find it, but like I was saying, because I wanted the holes to be open, so you'll be able to see the skinny blend colors. So this one has some ones at the end that was, the holes were they were not open. Just also I did some of them, some of this areas right here, and I'm gonna put them in there too, but it was mainly this area right here that I did, and I got some here that I will just probably put them on the borders. Okay, so now I have, this is Premo. I conditioned this on the third thickest setting of my pasta machine. Just some scrap clay that I have. And now we're gonna cut the cane so we can place it on that clay. So I'm just gonna cut. I'm just trying to get it as thin as possible. Sometimes it's kind of hard to do it, but let's see. It's better if I do it as like in an angle so I can see when I'm cutting. And it's better if you let your cane rest, because if you try to cut it right away, it'll get a lot of distortion, so it's better if you let it rest before you start cutting it. Let's do 10. Okay. And make sure your blade is sharp. Just keep cleaning it, and sometimes I have the bad habit of I don't clean my blades and they get all dirty. So you just have to make sure you clean them in between, because I mean you use them a lot, so. Okay, so we're gonna start placing them. I just got this. Yep, and you're just gonna start placing them, all your slices on the clay. Going on here. Alright, so now I'm going to smooth this out. Just grab a piece of printing paper and smooth it out with your hands first. Then grab your roller. And just try to roll it in different directions. Just trim the edges. Oh, what's going on here? All right, all right. So we have our first veneer here. Alright, so I'm going to bring over that other veneer. This is the one that I made earlier. It turned out really nice, so we're gonna put them together. And you gotta make sure when you are doing two-sided pendants or necklaces that they're the same thickness. So we're just going to put them side by side and see if they're the same. Because this one, when I make the skin blend, was I think a number 2. This one is a little higher than this one. So I'm going to roll out some scrap clay to make it the same and the same thickness. Hi guys, so now we have our 2 veneers, and then I rolled out a scrap clay. It's a number 4, it's pretty thin. Then you're just gonna make sure both of these are the same thickness. So I added another sheet of clay on this one, so to make it even, the same thickness. So we're just gonna place them all side by side. I'm going to use this diamond cutter, Rhine diamond cutter from RJ Crafts. And let's smooth it out a little bit. You gotta make sure they're connecting, like you don't want to leave a gap in between those 2 veneers. And the fact that I can't smooth this part out, it makes it a little difficult to do. So we just smooth this part just push it against the other one. And by doing this, smoothing it out, you avoid too much sanding. Of course, I'm not sanding this part, but it goes in the oven. You don't have to worry about sanding it too much. So now we gotta see where we're gonna cut. Want to get some of the red here too. Okay, I think I'm gonna cut right here. Push it down. Lift this up. This cutter is just not doing a good job. This is just not really sharp, so I'm just going to smooth it out with my finger because it left a line. Try to smooth it out. See. Yeah, just use my finger. It works better. So just go around. Yeah, sometimes those cutters, you gotta make sure they're sharp enough, but I was able to fix this. So this happens, you can use your fingers. And I'm going to bake this for 30 minutes. 275 premo recommended temperature. And I'm going to cover it with the bowl. And I'll be back to do the backing. Okay, I'll be back. Hey, so this is the bead. It's out of the oven, so I'm gonna place another sheet of clay in the back, and I already conditioned a sheet of premo on a number 5, and the number 0 being my thickest setting. And then I'm gonna give it texture with this sponge. Got my roller. Just roll it. Okay. Just turn it around. Pick it up, and then I'm going to use liquid clay, liquid poly clay, and then just use a small amount. Okay, I'm just gonna cut this. Now with your flexible blade, just trim around the edges. Make sure you cover the gaps. So it's completely covered. And then just grab the sponge again, and then I'm going to texture it again. Oops. And just texture the edges. And then I will bake this for a full hour at 275 Premo's recommended temperature. And I will cover it with the bowl. And I will put a piece of printing paper on the tile and then cover it with the bowl. And then I'll be back for the next step. See you then. Okay, so our bead is out of the oven, and now I'm going to polish this area right here. I have this polishing papers. I got this from Amazon, and it has 6 different grits, from 400 all the way to 8,000. So I'm just going to polish this area, and I think you can use this dry, wet too, but I'm just gonna use it dry this time. And just go in circular motions. So the ones that I'm using are the ones that you use wet. I have one of the videos where I show how I use my sanding paper, and I guess these ones are more if you don't have to sand as much, just to polish, because they're polishing papers. I just wanted to try something different. That's why it's very important before you bake your piece to If you have to smooth it out with the printing paper, do that, so that way when it's baked you don't have to sand as much. It's sure difficult because you can't do the whole bead, so just do your best. You can feel that it's really soft. Alright, so I'm going to continue doing this and then I'll be back with show you how to resin this. Okay, so now I'm getting ready to resin our bead. And I'm going to use Ultradome UV Epoxy. You're going to need that. You can use any other kind of resin. You're going to need a silicone mat, and I use a toothpick to drag the resin around. And you're going to need a UV light as well. So I always start from like the edges towards the center. And start with a little bit. You don't want to start with too much, because and then it will start running, dripping on the edges, and then that will be a mess. And usually the ideal thing is for this to be completely flat. But I would like to get a type of resin that you can use if your bead is like curved. I know there's stuff out there. I would like to buy it. But yeah, and then just gonna start dragging the resin towards the edges, because this resin is supposed to stop. It has like a retention, and then you know, you drag it to the edges and it stops right there. But sometimes if you put too much, or if your piece is curved, and then it will just start dripping everywhere. And that happens to me. That happened to me a lot. And then everything just starts going everywhere, and then yeah, it's just a mess. And then with the resin you get a lot of the bubbles. I don't know. I just know why that happens, but I have one right here. I mean, when I bought this in the beginning, it was a couple of months ago. Well, actually the first time I started using it, I didn't get bubbles as much, but now I have a couple of bubbles. I don't know if they're in the bottle. As soon as I start pouring this in here, I start getting bubbles. I have a couple in here, and then I used to use this light, like, and then just go around it. But and then if you do that, it will start like it will just go everywhere if you have too much, and it will just start spilling everywhere. So I don't know, I really like resin, but I just been having problems with it lately, and I don't really want to use it that much because of that, because of the bubbles. I don't know if it's because of this. Ultradome is a great resin, but it's just so much bubbles, and then I have to get rid of them because I don't want that to be showing. And then I hit it with the light, and then with the lighter, and then to get rid of it you can also use alcohol. But if you spray alcohol, and then it will just spill sometimes. And yeah, there's just so much that goes into it. I'm just going to apply a little bit more in the center. Yeah, but I'm going to leave this under the UV light for about 20 minutes. I don't want to put too much. And I will leave this under the UV light, and then I'll be back to show you the finished product. I'll be back. Hi, so here's her finished bead. If you can see how nice it looks with the resin. I'll give you a close-up so you can see it. Really, really nice. And then here's the back, and I glue it bailed. I use this A6000 jewelry bead. And for core options, you can use a leather cord, a chain, wired. Also, you can use the ones that are already made. This was the one I used in my last tutorial. I bought this and it came in a package of 4 different colors. So it's something you can try too. And yeah, I hope you like this video. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe so I can make more tutorials. If you have any questions, write it in the comments below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.